thing. Yes, yes, all those fights were like because of you thought you were separate. And this is what I'm trying to like. I know you get this, but we do. It's such a hard thing to see because it's just completely not how we've been conditioned. When you truly know yourself as source, you get to the point where you love all that so-called suffering. It's not even suffering. It's because if you really think about it, all it is you're pushing against an object within the space that is you. And it creates a distortion pattern, a difference pattern. You're thinking something different to what Source is knowing. And that's, I mean, you just listen to that. Thinking and knowing are completely different things. Source always knows, and thinking is like thinking something different to Source creates distortion patterns. And then because we've been like conditioned to believing that those distortion patterns are wrong, we then further push against the distortion patterns, and we further define that distortion pattern as suffering. But it's not suffering. Suffering, we don't suffer. It's not even possible. It's all a mechanism. It's all for the expansion of who you are. Because when even if you're really ultra depressed, and you hear this in my book, the paradox of it is, in depression, it's such a difference. Like you're way out of the vortex. You're still the vortex, this is the thing, but it's almost like, I see it now, like, imagine love in the center of the vortex, like down the stillness point, or what do they call it, the eye of the hurricane, right? And when you imagine you as this, like, I don't know, ball or something. If you're in depression, you're like way out on the edge of the vortex, and you're just being thrown around, and you just remain there for forever. And that's because of how different your thinking is to what Source is knowing. And that's what's creating the distortion pattern. Now, because you're way out of the vortex, thoughts of I create my reality are quite close to the center, you know. And so when you're in depression, it's hard to actually pull yourself out because you forget that you actually create your own reality. And so now if you look at suffering as distortion, a difference pattern, and you're not judging the difference pattern, it's just an indicator of how, it's like an indicator of how far in time you are to now. And now that you see it as just a difference pattern, and it's actually been the cause of the expansion of you just love it, because it's like, wow, that just caused me to create such a powerful reality. And you don't look back at it and go, oh, I suffered so much, because that's not how Source sees it at all. You didn't suffer at all, you just thought you did. And I know that sounds like people are going to have trouble, you know, realizing that, because they think they're this victim, and they think that, you know, it was bad for them to suffer and all that. But there is no suffering.